You are now listening to Me, Myself, and Love, the podcast. Finally, a space where your world revolves around you. Welcome back to another episode of Me, Myself, and Love, the podcast. We are back. It is your host, your girl, Thomason or Tommy G, if we're tight like that. I'm so happy you're here. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please join the Love Club. It is our cutie little group chat where we can ask questions, we can talk about things. And I also share some links like previews to my videos or links to my newsletters and promotions and things like that. So don't snooze or you'll lose. Make sure you join the Love Club. The link will be in the comment section as always. Let's just get straight into the episode because this is one I'm very, very, very excited about. Today we are diving into how to go from your healing phase to your living phase. It's as simple as that. If you're listening to this right now, high likely chances are you have either gone through or you are going through some sort of self-development, growth, healing, in the weeds type of journey. I see you. Shout out to you because you are me, I am you. And we're definitely doing this together. But the fact that you've clicked into this video as well tells me something about you, which is you are kind of ready to start living again. You've done a lot of work, or maybe you are doing a lot of work, or maybe you haven't even done that much work, but you're just tired. Because I know that the healing, quote unquote, process can be very, very, very exhausting, whether it's emotionally, even physically sometimes. It takes a lot out of us. And I feel like this is a huge part of the reason why a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people honestly don't have that spirit, that willingness to go through all that purging and cleansing and pain, because it is a lot of work and it is a lot of effort. And so if you are doing this, I commend you. If you're not, that's fine as well. But the point of this all is to just acknowledge that I understand that it's really, really, really difficult. It's something that I wish more people spoke about, because I feel like when we go through a healing journey, it's very easy to glamorize the end result. It's very easy to glamorize, oh yeah, I love myself. Oh yeah, I'm living this life. Oh yeah, I know how to manifest this. Oh yeah, I'm in the relationship of my dreams. We are so much more attracted to the end results and the glamorization of these things. And a lot of us tend to forget that healing is a very, very personal journey. It's very subjective. It's very difficult. And it's just something that shouldn't necessarily be glossed over. I feel like we don't really pay as much attention to that, and I guess it's because it is a personal journey, but I feel like we should acknowledge that challenge. And it just gets to a point where I think I personally just realized that I've had enough. Honestly, healing, I literally have a TikTok on this where I say healing is cute, healing is fun and all, it's great. But after a point, it just gets to a time where you want to start living. You want to start feeling like yourself again. You want to start embodying this new energy. You want to actually take the lessons of all the things that you have learned on your healing journey and begin to apply them. Because what the hell is the point of healing and going through all that pain and all that work for you not to be happy? For you not to be embodying this new frequency, this new reality? It doesn't really make sense to me at all. So that's kind of what drove me to make this podcast, because I feel like my personal journey has been really, really long so far. And this is in no way me saying that, I'm just gonna completely quit, quote unquote, my healing journey because I'm tired. Once you start this, I just know that it's a lifelong thing. It's a lifestyle. It's something that you can't go backwards once you've started this journey. So I'm not saying it's something that you should just quit cold turkey, but this is sort of a way to just remind you that it's okay to ease up on yourself. It's okay to say, okay, you know what? I have tried. It's okay to integrate the lessons that you've learned from the past and now start to embody that. And I'm going to give you a concrete example because I've kind of just been talking about it. But for example, okay, let's say you went through like a really tough relationship or a really traumatic relationship, right? And it dealt with you. It dealt with you to the point where you haven't been able to talk to anyone or be in a relationship with anyone for years and years after, because you are just so traumatized, and you needed to go through that process of quote unquote healing. Let's just say, are you not going to say that because of that you're never going to be with someone again? Or you're never going to like put yourself out there, you're never going to give yourself a chance? I think that's the other thing about this whole thing, is that healing almost becomes a new identity. It almost sucks you into the point where you feel like that is who you have become. You are now this project that you need to constantly keep working on. You are now this person, or this, I don't know, you're just this embodiment of a constant struggle, of constant work. And I feel like that's what I really don't like about it, because imagine being in that situation. For example, now you've come out of this traumatic relationship. When is enough enough? When is it time to say, okay, you know what? That was really painful. That was really heartbreaking, but I'm done healing. I've learned what I've needed to learn, and I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to embody those new lessons that I have learned. I'm ready to accept the fact that, okay, maybe I made those mistakes. I'm ready to forgive myself. And now I'm ready to go back into that dating pool and be this new version of myself who is wiser and who understands that I will never make those mistakes again. Because part of whatever that trauma was is now in my control, because I know better. When is it time to say that? And this is also why I feel like we need to be more transparent about the healing journey, because this is part of healing. That acceptance is part of healing. That like acknowledgement and forgiveness of oneself is part of healing. Healing is not just crying every day and journaling and, reflecting. Like, that is what makes it really, really exhausting. That's what makes it tiring. That's what makes it long. Is when we feel like we constantly need to have this microscope up at ourselves and examine all this. Oh, why did I act this certain way? Why did I react this certain way? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why did that happen in the relationship? Why? Like, you can't ask yourself why forever. You can't treat yourself like an experiment and a project for the rest of your life, because that is not the point of life. That is not the point of healing either. And I think, like I was saying, the process of acceptance and forgiveness of yourself and integrating those lessons is a part of healing. That's the point, almost. And that's why I feel like that transparency is really, really needed, because I feel like a lot of us are going through this right now, especially with social media and content, even sometimes content like mine, where we're constantly teaching you new ways to look at certain situations, or people are telling you this is why, oh, you have this attachment style, oh, you're this and that, oh, this is why you did this. And like, it's so easy to just get wrapped up in constantly criticizing and analyzing ourselves, forgetting that the point of all that work is to enjoy life, is to be better, is to grow, is to evolve. So this is just your reminder. If you find that you are kind of feeling stuck, you're feeling drained, you've caught yourself in that web and that loop of healing, this is just your wake-up call, your reminder that that is not what life is all about. You are supposed to try to heal. You're supposed to, reflect and try to be a better version of yourself, but you can do that simultaneously while living, while embodying those lessons, while taking what you've learned and putting it out into the world, and being that new frequency of self that is wiser, that is just more full of life. That's the point. Just let this be a reminder, because this is something that I've really had to like drill into my head, especially in recent days, especially with my move, especially with new experiences, meeting new people, thinking differently about my future. It's like, who am I, and how have the things that I have experienced and learned and quote unquote healed or healing from, how is that affecting my decisions going forward? How is that affecting how I show up in the world and what I project? And it's just been really interesting putting that lens on myself. It's just like, you don't want life to be boring. You don't want to just be healing all the time and be criticizing yourself all the time, because that's honestly is just not fun. It's not fun. And especially if you're in your 20s listening to this, like, this is your time to really express yourself fully, embody yourself fully. You can do that and heal at the same time. Just remember, it's okay for that integration to happen. Some ways that I feel like I've taken this and put it at play in my own life is making a very, very intentional effort to play. Making a very intentional effort to have fun in the small ways, in the big ways in my life. It's something that has really helped me throughout this process, because I feel like play is something that helps us to kind of awaken that part of ourselves that is so innocent, that part of ourselves that is so free and so fun and so loving and wants to be expressed, that part of ourselves that all the trauma has kind of told to shut up, we don't need you anymore, like that type of thing. Like when you make a conscious effort to incorporate play into your day-to-day, it awakens a new part of you. And that's the part of you that is ready to enjoy life. And when I say play, it's very simple. When I wake up in the morning, I make a conscious and intentional effort to put myself in a positive state of mind. Most times, this looks like I just blast my favorite songs in the bathroom. I blast my favorite songs in the shower. I blast my favorite songs as I'm getting ready. I dance, I move, I just like get into my body and just express myself in that way. And that makes me feel very free. That makes me feel very happy. That makes me feel like I'm actually being myself in that moment. And it might be a really small thing, but this translates into the rest of my day. So for example, another thing that I tend to do is I'm making a conscious effort to say yes to more things. Not things I don't want to say yes to. I will never do that, and I will never advocate for you doing that as well. But saying yes to things that might not necessarily be in my comfort zone. Oh, this person invites me to, a comedy show. I wouldn't say that I'm a comedy enthusiast, but I will go, because that is now expanding my worldview. That is giving me access to new experiences. That is allowing me to live in this new embodied version of myself, where it's okay for me, it's safe for me to go out and try new things. It's safe for me to meet new people and just live as this new version of myself that has experienced all these things. The point is, you're coming from a place of wisdom. You're coming from a place of, I understand these things have happened to me, and now I know how to avoid them. Now I know how to react differently. Now I know how to be the person that I really, really want to be. And now it's safe for me to live. It's safe for me to have fun. It's safe for me to experience new things. So saying yes to more has been a game changer for me. I have experienced the most random things just by saying yes to more. Okay, so for example, today I was like, oh yeah, I want to have a solo day, just do some returns and grab a coffee, lunch, do work, whatever. And old me, when I go out, I'm really like shy, a little bit like reserved, a little bit like I keep to myself. I guess I have some sort of resting bitch face. Like I'm in my head a lot when I'm in public. But more recently, I've tried to tell myself that it's okay. It's safe for you to express and be your happy self, because I am quite a happy person. I am quite a calm person. It's safe for you to smile when you're outside, smile at people, especially people you don't know. I don't know. So today I was at this cafe or coffee shop, whatever, and I am sitting across from these girls at a table, and her drink just like spilled everywhere. Like she just, it was like the funniest thing ever. She just spilled her drink everywhere. And like usually I would have just been like, oh, minding my business, like whatever, that doesn't concern me. But I allowed myself to just laugh. I allowed myself to like giggle and like, haha, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like just be light about it and embody this new version of me that's okay with expressing that side of myself. Even though like in the past, I wouldn't do that because I was afraid of being judged, or I was afraid of being rejected. But now it's kind of just like, I understand that it's safe. It's safe for me to be myself. It's safe for me to be happy. It's safe for me to reach out to other people. And that literally led me to making a new friend and discovering a new coffee shop and just like really just expanding myself. I just say that to say, like, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to say yes. Don't be afraid to like do things that you wouldn't normally do. If you have the slightest, oh, that might be interesting. Oh, maybe I could do that. If you have that slightest feeling, you just need to go for it, because it will never steer you in the wrong direction. Incorporate play, say yes more often, make it an intentional effort as well to reflect on how far you have come. The healing trap is tricky because when you're in it, you don't realize how much progress that you've actually made. You don't realize, oh wait, I've been at this for years. Oh wait, I've been doing this for 3 years. Oh wait, I've been doing this for 20 months. Like, you don't realize how deep you've actually been and how much work you've put in. And honestly, sometimes the work is required. Sometimes the alone time is required. I will say that sometimes you need to just take away that space from the world, from everything, to give yourself that time to do the work. Agreed. But when it's time to come out, when it's time to see the sun again, when it's time to embody and live, it's very important to reflect so that you can also understand, oh wait, I've actually done enough. Oh, I've done my best for right now. It is now safe to move forward. It's safe to do something differently. You cannot be in healing mode for the rest of your life. You can't. I'm sure there'll be a time that will come again where, okay, back to hermit mode, back to staying inside, going out less, working on myself, whatever. Life comes in phases. It's also not healthy to feel like you need to isolate yourself forever and ever and ever. And that is actually a trap that I feel like a lot of people fall into, because I saw this like tweet or whatever sometime that was like, are you healed, or have you just not put yourself in the position to be triggered? Which means like, you could stay at home all you want. You can say you've healed, you've done all the whatever, but you're indoors every day. You don't interact with people. Have you put yourself in positions where you would have to meet someone new, or you'd have to like talk to your parents, or you'd have to like do something that actually triggers you to see if that is something that you have actually gotten over? And that's obviously not the point of this video, but it's just something to think about as you're going on this journey. Sometimes there comes a point where you have to step outside. You have to stop the healing. Stop it. I don't know what that accent was. I think I was trying to recreate a TikTok, but whatever, you get my point. Like, sometimes it comes a point where you just have to stop and live and embody and enjoy and have fun. And remember that you have so much life to live. You have so many things to experience. You are probably going to have more things you need to heal from. I'm not denying that. And when I remind myself of that, sometimes I'm like, oh my God. But it's just a fact. Like, things come in phases, and you are allowed to enjoy yourself. You're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to be happy. And I am rooting for you to be happy. I am so rooting for you to be happy, because you deserve it. Like, we really deserve this, especially if you've been putting in the work and you feel that sense of fatigue. It means that it's time to wrap it up. It is time. So don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty or like try to shame yourself either for wanting to feel like yourself again. Don't feel bad for wanting to feel like yourself again. If yourself before your healing journey she was outside, she was a party animal, she was fun, she was flirty, she was sexy, but you haven't felt like that in years, or you haven't felt like that in months, don't feel guilty for wanting to feel like that again. That doesn't mean you're going backwards. That doesn't mean you're not healed or you're not healing. That means it is time. This phase is over. It's time to feel free again. It's time to embody and live and be this evolved version of myself who still likes to have fun, but is now wiser. It doesn't mean you're going backwards. So please also don't feel guilty for that. It's something that has come up for me. I feel like feeling like yourself again is really, really weird, because there's this slippery slope of like, is this myself, or is this like the old me that used to make stupid decisions and someone that I need to cage and tame or whatever? Yeah, don't feel bad, because there's a reason that part of you wants to be expressed, and it is safe to do so, because now you're wiser. And I'll say that again and again and again. So if this is you, trust me, you are ready. You are so ready. You deserve this. You deserve to have fun and to live your life. And like I said, there just comes a point where that acceptance is necessary, and you will do a great job. You will do a great job. You can't mess up anything that's meant for you. You will do a great job. You'll have fun, and everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be just fine. Everything's going to be just fine. Everything's going to be just time. It's time to step out of your healing era. Step out of your healing era. Step into your hot girl era. Step into your fun era. Step into your villain era. Step into your party girl era. Step into your bad bitch era. Step into your... It's time, man. Rise up, rise up, rise up. Okay? Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you if you've made it this far. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If you haven't already, like I said, go join the Love Club. Let's continue this conversation. If you want to watch instead of listen, YouTube, Spotify, I'm right there for you. I'm wearing this beautiful bright pink hoodie that I know you'll love. So tap and tap and tap and tune in. And as always, I will see you next Wednesday on the next episode of Me, Myself, and Love, the podcast. Okay. Bye. I love you.